It's just 5 names, 5 terror bosses, terror masterminds who've been eliminated, neutralized by our strikes in phase 1 of Operation Sindoor. And what it also confirms right now, based on what Gaurav tells us, particularly the first name on that list, is, imagine this, the Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist. So it's confirmed now that it was an LET man who got that massive hero's funeral from the Pakistan army, from the Pakistan government. Add to it, Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists, some of the relatives of Masood Azhar, involved in the Kandahar hijacking, involved in the indoctrination, recruitment for Jaish-e-Mohammed, all neutralized. And Gaurav, let's also talk about the fact that over 100 terrorists reportedly have been neutralized overall.
Why Pakistan is so upset. This is the strategic arm of Pakistan that's virtually been cut off. Pakistan was using both Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba, one based at Muridke, the other based at Bahawalpur, one in the southern part of Punjab, the other in the heart of Punjab, to bleed India for decades, one from the 1990s and the other from early 2000. And they've been bleeding India continuously for decades. But for the first time ever, India struck terror at source, not just pruning the branches and leaves of the terror tree like we were lamenting for decades, but striking at the roots of terror, and how that's expanded at going after those who are actually nurturing this terror tree, the Pakistan army. The fact that 4 critical air bases of the Pakistan Air Force have now been neutralized. The focus also remains on major radar centers of Pakistan that have been destroyed in the past 24 hours, is a major indication that this is a massive operation undertaken by India to root out terror at source. Akshita.
On our screens right now is of the Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist Abu Jundal, who got that hero's farewell in Pakistan. Unsurprising, really, that this is how Pakistan treats their terrorists. They're heroes for them. They're martyrs for them, which is why when we've struck in phase 1 of Operation Sindoor at terror hubs, you'd think we're doing Pakistan a favor by getting rid and eliminating these terrorists. And instead, you had Pakistan resorting to strikes, provocations, attempting to target civilians and whatnot. And that's the reality of the country that we're dealing with, that terrorists are heroes for Pakistan, which is why Abu Jundal, a wanted Lashkar terrorist, his credentials supersede him, Gaurav. He is someone who's been involved in the plotting of terror attacks, involved in the expansion of Lashkar-e-Taiba, indoctrinating youth and whatnot.
At the Markaz, Subhanallah, whether it's the Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorist or the one in charge of Markaz at Muridke, it just goes on to show that these are terrorists who enjoyed state patronage. As you're very rightly pointing out, Akshita, imagine a 3-star general of the Pakistan Army is present at the funeral. A wreath is laid on behalf of a 4-star general of the Pakistan Army and on behalf of the Chief Minister of Pakistan's Punjab province. So this is just an eye-opener for those who say India must strengthen democracy in Pakistan, because one is as bad, if not worse, than the other. And imagine the plight of the people of a country where the army is willing to go to war with a neighbor for targeting terrorists. Terrorists have been killed and they want to wage war against India, but they have been waging a war against India. You know, if you look at Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who spoke of waging a 1,000-year war against India, well, these people are doing just that. And when their strategic assets are destroyed, they wage war to avenge the killing of these terrorists.
Very, very true. Gaurav, there have also been multiple reports that suggested that in phase 1 of Operation Sindoor, you also had Masood Azhar's brother, Rauf Asghar, reportedly being neutralized, the man who masterminded, carried out the IC-814 Kandahar hijacking. Any confirmation on that, Gaurav, from your sources?
Well, we've got a list of terrorists who were involved in these major terror attacks against India. And this has come from top sources after due verification, because this will actually now form part of investigations and evidence against Pakistan's state complicity in terror against India. So when Pakistan says that India gave no proof, India has continuously been given proof to Pakistan, proof that Pakistan did not act on when India acted on the basis of credible intelligence of presence of terrorists in an area and neutralized that place. Pakistan, instead of perhaps any sane country, any civilized country would have thanked India for taking out those terrorists. Pakistan instead launched a series of drone strikes on India, 36 different locations from Leh to Sir Creek, from Ladakh to Gujarat. And now it fired a high-speed missile. There have been consequences for Pakistan. There have been severe consequences for Pakistan where 4 frontline forward air bases of Pakistan have been taken down. And this perhaps for the first time, Akshita, such massive costs have been imposed on Pakistan like never before for being a radical Islamist state sponsor of terror. This is something that India wanted for decades, impose costs on Pakistan military jihad infrastructure, make it expensive for them to use terror as an instrument of foreign policy, of state policy. Now costs are being imposed on Pakistan when they are losing bases that they've had, some as part of pre-independence India, bases that they've had since 1942 now lie shattered, and perhaps their air defense vis-a-vis India in tatters. In any sane country, there would be an investigation. How could their entire air defense system collapse in the manner in which it did? And perhaps only for the protection of terrorists of Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed.
Very true. Gaurav, as we get these names now, we spoke of Abu Jundal, Lashkar-e-Taiba, where a serving Lieutenant General of the Pakistan Army, the IG of the Punjab Police, Pakistan, attended the prayer ceremony. And then you have another terrorist, Khalid Abu Akasha, part of Lashkar-e-Taiba, again, whose funeral was held in Faisalabad, and you saw senior Pakistani army officials attending that funeral. The Deputy Commissioner of Faisalabad attending the funeral. This is a joke. You've got officials, senior army officials of the Pakistan Army attending funerals now. The other names that stand out for me is, of course, Abu Jundal was running the Markaz Taiba in Muridke. So he's been neutralized. Now, similarly, as far as the Jaish-e-Mohammed is concerned, you also have Hafiz Mohammed Jalil, who is in charge of Markaz Subhanallah in Bahawalpur, also being neutralized. These Markazes, Gaurav, whether in Muridke, whether in Bahawalpur, served essentially as a headquarters for terror activities. We've got confessions even from the likes of Ajmal Kasab, a statement from David Headley that confirmed that Muridke is exactly where they got their training, where they met Hafiz Saeed.
You've hit the nail on its head. Absolutely. There's a mountain of evidence. There's a mountain of evidence that would convince anyone except, of course, Pakistan, which continues to aid and abet, sponsor terror, fund terror. And that's the reason you saw, as you very rightly pointed out, Akshita, generals being present at funerals, army shouldering the coffins of terrorists. You know, the question that you posed about IC-814 hijack, it is Muhammad Yusuf Azhar, alias Ustadji, alias Muhammad Salim, alias Ghosi Sahab of Jaish-e-Mohammed, brother-in-law of Maulana Masood Azhar, who is not just a weapons handler and a trainer for Jaish-e-Mohammed, but was involved in multiple terrorist attacks in Jammu and Kashmir and wanted in India for the IC-814 hijack. Imagine, IC-814 was hijacked in 1999 December, hijacked from Kathmandu, en route India, and taken first to Dubai, then to Kandahar, when that Maulana of terror, Masood Azhar, was released, and then started a new chapter in radical Islamist terror that bled India for the next 25 years. And that chapter finally, that book, that chapter ends with that bombing of Markaz Subhanallah at Bahawalpur and that Markaz at Muridke of Lashkar-e-Taiba. It just goes on to show it's a very long war on terror where you require not just military capabilities, which incidentally we've always had, but political will to hit terror at source. And today Pakistan is crying and bleeding. Then these are very strong decisions taken by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his team to hit terror at source and to kill and destroy the roots of terror in Pakistan.